Could you tell us one of your daddy's stories? कुछ थोड़ा सा
वो it's about jinns.
अच्छा बताएं आप बता सकते हैं हबीबा को भी सुनना होगा
Yeah, will do.
It's very interesting story.
I mean, child, we took it as a truth. I since I grown, I think she was just telling a story.
Sure.
But we wouldn't go to bed unless we had a story or two from my daddy. It was great. She died over 100 years old. She went to Hajj. And I remember in my childhood, she went to Hajj. She's one person in my family, she couldn't read and write.
But she could tell stories.
But her husband was a scholar of his time. My dada, Arabi, Farsi.
Grandfather.
My grandfather. And my father was also, he was more technical education in textile in agriculture. My uncle, my chacha, my uncle, he did law, but he also was perfect in Arabic and Persian. He was a poet as well. And we used to listen to him a lot. He used to talk about I remember Richard Burton, not the actor.
No, the other Richard Burton. Yes.
His travels.
Yeah.
He was a very interesting man. Have you read him?
दादी के बारे में बताना है
जी हमें दादी की कहानी सुननी है वो जो
My daddy have a Djinn. Heard from her and they say when she was young, she was very good looking. She had very long hair. She washed her hair and she was on the roof drying her hair. And Djinn, by chance, he was passing over. You know Djinn?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
And he fell in love with her. He came down and tried to chat her up. If I use that vocabulary. And this was long time before I came to earth.
Yes.
And she lived with us when we were children. I know she lived with us. She had a room, and the practice was my father, when he wasn't out tour in his job, he will go in her room in the morning. My uncle, who lived next door, also come over to their mother's room. My mother will prepare the breakfast for them, and they have breakfast together. That's one story, part of it. Mm-hmm. In the evening, she will tell us about this Djinn. And confirmed by my mother, she will all of a sudden, she is talking to somebody. And given to my mother, asked her mother to bring something to entertain. Abdul Rahman, his name, Jinn's name. Abdul Rahman is here. And my mother will listen talking to somebody, but nobody's there. And talked with her. And he is offering something to my grandmother, and she said, no, you shouldn't bring that, anything like that. I don't want anything. Don't, just put it away. She'd tell, and her face will be, my mother will say, will go red. My grandmother's. And after a while, he is gone, and my grandmother will become normal. Then she will say, Abdul Rahman was here. And I was telling him off that why he didn't come yesterday or day before, why don't he come regularly, this and all that. And this is, my mother said, yes, she was talking to somebody, was nobody there. And she was appearing like this, red and all that. And so many times, but this jinn was when my great-grandfather, being head of the community village, he used to read the Quran, his practice in the morning. He will sit on a sort of bed. जी? No, it was like जो गाँव में होते हैं ना चारपाई. Charpai is like a local bed type where you can put clothes, sheets on it and sleep as well. But he will sit on it and read the Quran in the morning. That's early morning. And he noticed that a little snake over the wall, he'll come down and sat in front of him with his head up. And when my great-grandfather finished the Quran, the snake will go away. It happens so often, regularly. And my great-grandfather realized that it's not an ordinary snake. It's a jinn. और छोटा है तो जिनका बच्चा है. So when, after a few days, when he was going away, my great-grandfather told him, look, bring your elder to the mosque at the namaz time. So it so happened, in a day or two after, an elderly person and a young boy appear in the mosque door. Djinn and his son. Elderly person told my great-grandfather that he wants his son to learn the Quran, and you please take him, teach him. Agreed. And usually used to be in a mosque, village mosque, a room where children who are learning the Quran and other Islamic things will live there. And occasionally my great-grandfather will also stay there with them for the night. Now this jinn child been given a bed and told to behave. He must not let anybody know that you are what you are. Agreed. Now what he was doing in the mosque, there was a well for the water, to draw the water. There were a place where people could have a shower. Very old, not today's modern shower. Little tank, people will fill it in, and an outlet where people can have a shower with. That was source of water. People were filling it with their own nature, and also people coming for the prayers. There were a pot where they use water for ablution. And this jinn started filling the water tank regularly, always full. These pots always full of water for the people who come for prayer. When you go in, you take your shoes off. When you come out, shoes are turned the other way so that people can get into them easily. And people notice all these things. Who's doing it? thinking, somebody good was doing it, but it was Djinn who was doing it. And the story goes, again, according to my grandma, that at night there was an oil lamp in the room. When everything said and done, and somebody needed, bed was nearer to the lamp, told, put the lamp out. This Djinn will say, well, cover your faces, I'll do it. And he, from that corner, the long hand will come out. My grandfather, great-grandfather, saw him doing it and he was told off not to do it. Then one big story which I can remember, there was a tree, large tree was cut in the field somewhere. They needed the wood, that tree, to bring it in, to use for some purpose. It was a big tree. And they were thinking, talking about it, who and how to manage, how many people we need, what sort of a carriage needs. And this Djinn was listening all that. They haven't decided anything, who will do it, how many people. And next morning, the tree was there, they wanted it. The Djinn did it. And my grandma was telling that he was told off, and he said, well, this is it. You learned whatever you wanted to learn, you have done it. Now you go away. And he was sent away. And the story goes that he broke a wall of the mosque when he went in anger.
In anger.
Oh.
And these kind of